Hot tubers. Jeff Lindsay in the garage Thursday the 13th of February. And we got out here today and made this piece. We just extended from where we started our major repairs back up in here. We just decided to rebuild this whole bottom, and it's came along well. It's welded in there good, cleaned up good. Now all we've got is this last little piece here that we want to take out and replace. Maybe it won't be too bad. We're just going to grind this away and get down to that part of the shell, the upright part of the shell in there. We're going to grind this one away instead of trying to cut it. That way we'll leave as much as possible in there, hopefully. So we'll get started on that one, bring you back. We still got to get our mirror bracket off of the old skin, and we're going to scuff up the inside of this skin. Got plenty of Raptor liner. We'll tape it off. We'll spray that area on the inside to help with the sound deadening, I guess, and to keep those pieces from maybe rattling back into. I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but it's on there, so we'll do it too. All right, we'll have some progress. We'll bring you along. All right, tubers, Jeff Lindsay in the garage, the 14th of February. Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. We're going to work on the door shell a little today before we go in and get cleaned up and go out, maybe have a nice meal somewhere with the wife. We finished up the corner piece. We've got one big solid piece in here now. It is welded in, cleaned up, and we left it long so we can come off of this edge, come down. We'll come off of this straight edge that we know is good as far as the length. And we should be able to meet those corners up and make everything turn out good, hopefully right here. We'll test fit the skin a few times. Make sure nothing wonky is going on. We'll flip the skin over and scuff up the inside. We'll spray some Raptor in there. And we'll be able to spray some epoxy on the door shell and get it in much, much better shape than it was. And again, you know, the repairs that we made in this corner were with the skin on way back. And there's just no way to know unless you take that skin off just how bad of a situation you got. But this definitely needed to be done. Glad we're doing it, which we pretty much had to because of the way this corner had turned out. So once we test fit a few times, we'll start scuffing, cleaning, epoxying, and Raptor liner the skin. So once we have a little progress, we'll bring you along. All right, guys, we got the door skin turned upside down, and we laid the shell in. It's hard to see it the other way. We had it over here. So we adjusted this stand, and we just got it sitting in the little valley part of it there. And we lined up in this area, and we lined it up what we thought was right here, which is just inside that little fold. So you can weld in these bare spots where you see where I've cut those welds loose. This is our corner piece that we repaired, our new piece, and it's just about perfect where it needs to be. And it looks like we did all right on that. All the way down, looks real good. Looks like the fold's gonna come out good. All that repairing we did. This end, this lip right here, I'm assuming is, according to the other door, catches right on the folded part of the skin. Just kind of meets up flush with it. I know that's hard to see, but that's pretty good all the way down. Now this is the point that we were concerned about. This part right here has much more severe bend than the skin does. So it's just not meeting up. And the point of the shell right here is hitting the skin, and it's creating a gap here. It doesn't really start to touch till you get back down in there about a third of the way. But you can come in here and squeeze it together. You can squeeze it together all the way till you get close right here. And then that door shell, I mean, it's going to distort this skin. If I just try to clamp this here, it's going to distort this skin from the shape that it's in now. So, I'm not 100% sure how we're going to go about attacking that, but we'll figure it out. And even on the hinge end, we're in there pretty good. It's not quite in this area to where the other skin ended up, but it's super close all the way. That's going to be a good fold right there. All the way to this bottom, and then across going back the other way. It all looks fairly good. Oh, it's kind of hard to pick up with everything's black. Anyway, we're going to take the shell back off and go ahead and prep it. We'll lay it back in there. We're going to put a couple, 3 spots along here so it don't move around. And we're going to start folding the lip as soon as we get it sprayed. All right, we'll bring you back. All right, to Jeff Lindsay out in the garage. Saturday the 15th. And we've got the door skin prepped and went ahead and sprayed U-pole Raptor liner on the inside. Maybe that stuff's good enough. I think it'll be fine. We sprayed a thick, heavy coat, textured. And of course we haven't took off the tape or plastic yet. But that's what we ended up with. We're going to set this thing outside because it is giving off some terrible bad fumes. The last batch of Raptor that I bought was neutral. And the reason why is I tinted it and sprayed my bed liner, and I had one thing of it left, and it worked out perfect for the skin. So, and I didn't bother to tint it because it's not going to be seen. So that's what we've got. It's just a natural. All right, bring you back. All right, there's a shot of skin on the outside with all the tape off. Tape and plastic. I think that'll be fine. All right, we'll leave it out here for a while. Start back on the door shell. Bring it along. All right, tubers, Jeff Lindsay in the garage with you, February 16. Terrible weather, raining like cats and dogs. Speaking of dogs, there's my shop dog. We put a light coat of epoxy on the door shell. We soaked it good across the bottom. I didn't take time to really, I didn't sandblast it or anything. It is what it is. I think we got all the rusty stuff patched like we needed to. So we're going to bare the edges and we're going to put our adhesive on there and we're going to set the skin on there and start folding it. If we finish today, we'll finish. If we don't, we'll finish it tomorrow afternoon after work, but we're definitely going to try to get the skin on. I do have to weld on the mirror bracket, a couple of plug weld holes, and we'll have that. You can see where we got a plug weld there and there. So we'll set it up there, drill them out, spot that on real quick, and we'll be done with that, and we'll get ready to throw the skin on. Again, this is all stuff that's been done to these exact same doors, so I know it's probably not a very interesting deal. But anyway, something we got to do, so we'll bring you along when we get it. All right, we've got our panel bond on all the way around. And we've got a few blobs up in there where it needs to be, and it's trying to roll off. It's kind of thin. Or either I squirted too much, one of them. All right, we're going to lay it on and get the hammer. All right, tubers, back in the shop, still on the 16th. The door skin is on. And it's been folded. And I'm going to tell you, if you have never done that, just get you some metal and go to folding. Try it. It's tough. We did the roof skin openings on each side. That didn't seem to be nothing like skinning this door. I don't know how many times I hit this door with a hammer, but it was in the thousands, I'm sure. So one thing I tried with the hope that it would make it a little bit easier, I don't know if it did or didn't. In this, all the way in this peak right here, I went ahead and folded a few inches on each end so as to try to hold that door skin from moving around. And I went ahead and clamped up and spot welded the top of this door skin to the shell, just with the hope that it might make it a little easier. I don't know if it did or didn't, because I've never done but just this one. So I don't know if there was anything you could do to make it easy. It might have made it easier, but it definitely didn't make it easy. That's a lot of work, skinning a door. A lot of work. Have not turned the door over yet. I'm a little bit reluctant. I'm kind of scared. But now that we finished with it, we got to put it back on the car. But I've got some work I'm gonna do in these bare areas. Obviously, I took a roll-up with this little sanding pad and just went along right through this area right here and cleaned up. And it got rid of a lot of the hammer marks. I don't know how important that is. You could probably take just a little finger swipe of filler, but I'll probably go around it and just to make it look better, especially in this area and then on the hinge end where you might be able to see that once, you know, when the door's open. The bottom, I'm not so much worried about. You'd have to be laying on the ground to see it. So we'll flip the door over, bring you back, and then we'll put this video up. Again, it's a door skin, nothing special, but it had to be done. All right, we'll bring you back. All right, tubers. Flip the door over and went ahead and took the roll-off. All of our little heat marks where we spotted the skin from the other side, we went ahead and polished that off, smoothed them down a little. We know we got to body work that. Got one little area right here. I don't know, I got carried away with the dolly. Apparently I just didn't keep it flush or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's not terrible. Not terrible. We polished our corners a little bit. They don't look bad at all. There's one little spot here. Must have got the corner of the dolly. It's not bad. There's a couple of little wrinkles here and there, but it's not bad at all. I'm good with it. Another little low spot right there. Probably just from not keeping the dolly flat when I was hammering on that other side. So polished up this corner here a little bit, and we'll tweak it and make it look better. But again, it's much better than it was. A whole heap. Glad we did it now, but we wasn't glad when we were swinging that hammer. All right, we'll get this thing finished up. We'll get this video finished up, and our interest is coming back a little bit in the car. We know we got too much time and money invested in it just to let it sit here and not do anything. So we definitely gonna hopefully stay at it, work on it when we can, fish when we want to or when we can. A lot of body work to do to the car. I know I've said that a million times, and it's obvious to anybody that has seen the car, but it's a whole lot better than it was when I got it. Drivetrain, interior, body work and paint, electrical, rims and tires. I mean, there's still a good bit to do, no doubt about it. But we're not going to give ourselves a deadline or a time to have paint, a time to have this, that, or the other. We're just going to work on it, and one day, good Lord willing, we'll have it done. All right, tubers, we'll upload this one and start on something different.